I'm gonna help you celebrate our independence and America by making some trash to treasure crafts. I think that it is super patriotic to take care of this beautiful land that we live in. So we can do that by reusing and not throwing things away. So today we're going to reuse some paper tubes, some newspaper, and the tubes are going to be used for painting and also for making this cool popper. So grab your tubes, grab some paint, glitter if you've got it, some newspaper, some tape, and some scissors, and meet me back here. All right, so we've got lots of different projects. So let's start with the painting part. We're gonna paint some fireworks by reusing paper towel and toilet paper tubes because it's super patriotic to reuse because you're taking care of our land, right? We've got gorgeous land in the United States and I'd like to keep it that way, so join me in the reuse. We're going to take one of these tubes and you're going to cut slits in it. So you go all the way around and cut slits. You want them to be fairly narrow because we want it to look more like a firework, less like petals on a flower. So keep cutting, 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 and then open it up. And I've got some paint. I've got some red, white, and blue paint here. I put it on paper plates because we have them, so technically we were reusing them. But if you wanted to use scrap paper or something else to put your paint on, that works really well. Or lids. Lids are really good paint palettes. So I'm going to use a little sponge and I'm going to paint these outside parts here. And you want to go pretty thick because we're going to do this multiple times. And I just flung paint on me. Don't do this quickly, boys and girls. Okay, paint, paint, paint. I'm doing this a little bit messy. You can be a little bit nicer about it. So I've got the paint on here. I'm going to pick a spot and I'm just gonna stamp it down. You can push down the ends with your fingers. And then you want to do it a few times. And you do want it to be lighter and lighter and lighter because sometimes fireworks are really intense and sometimes they fade out. So that's what we want it to look like. I do have some glitter on here too. You can put it directly in your paint, or you can put the glitter on the paper while the paint is still wet and then shake off the excess and reuse it for later. It's a little bit messy, so make sure you ask about that part. All right, we're gonna set that aside to dry. I've got a little bit of paint on my fingers. I'm gonna wipe that off. Then, let's make this way cool hat. This is a firecracker hat out of newspaper. So if you have a newspaper, and a lot of us don't have newspaper, if you don't, you can use wrapping paper. You can make this hat. All right. So you want to open it like you're reading the middle part of the newspaper. So I'll open it all the way to the middle. And then you're going to fold in one of these long sides to make it thicker, because that part is going to be the hat band. And we need that to be a little bit stronger. So once you've done that, take it around your head and measure to see how big your head is. Probably not as big as mine with all this paper. Then you're going to, hopefully you can have somebody help you with this, maybe mark it where you need to mark it. You're gonna take some tape it up lengthwise, and once we've done that, we're going to do the same thing that we did with these paper towel tubes and toilet paper tubes, and we're going to cut slits down the length of it. So cut right into it, and you want to make them about yay wide, okay? And then you see how this is all curly up here? We can do that by curly cueing it around our fingers. Each one of these lengths of paper, you can curly cue that around your finger. The more paper you have, the more curls you have. And then for the decorating, Katie just made these stars by hand and then cut them out. I don't know that I'm going to be that good at making stars. If you want to draw stars or use foamies or maybe do some other kind of decoration, you could do that. Put some American flags around there. You could use scrap paper. Try it out and then color it, do however you would like. Everybody's can be different. Ta-da! you've got a hat. Now, for the really fun part, the popper. This is another toilet paper tube, some really strong tape, and a balloon. And then whatever you want to put inside. You could use confetti, we use pom-poms, you could do popcorn. Try out all kinds of different things. But make sure not to shoot it at anybody, right? We know this. And if you want to learn how to make this, you can go to one of our other YouTube videos about how to make these poppers. I've got pom-poms in here. This is how we do it. You pull back on it and ta-da! Have a happy 4th of July. Have fun with it.